All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this sit down as we count down to our property show that is happening from the 22nd to the 23rd of May, 2026. And today I'm joined by Mr. Ben Nyaumwe, who is the CEO and founder of Thaton Properties. Thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity and having me on the show.
Yeah. I want to go back to the start. How did Thaton Property start, and how did the idea come out of conception?
Okay, well, Thaton Property came from Auspex Property. Auspex Property was a property development business that I ran in South Africa for a good 14 years. And then when I relocated back to Zimbabwe, in fact, Thaton Property started in South Africa,
Yeah.
but Thaton Property has been birthed out of Auspex Property, and we did a lot of development in South Africa.
Yeah. So doing a comparison of the development that has happened in South Africa, construction-wise, do you see us perhaps reaching their level or surpassing what they've done? And also just looking at the trajectory of the pricing of the apartments that are being put up here, do you project they could perhaps go lower in price or higher, maybe?
A very good question. You know, property is one of those things that will, a property investment is one of those things that always self-corrects. Every property investment, all you need to give it is one bit of medicine, and that's called time. And without a shadow of a doubt, you are always going to have capital growth. If you find property prices going down, it's for a very short period. But the global trend, and Zimbabwe is no different to any other part of the world, is that property prices will continue to keep rising and rising and rising. It is a proper form of wealth preservation. It's a real and proper store of value. And I mean, look at the London property market. The UK might be in recession. The country is no longer what it used to be. But look at what happens to property prices in the UK, in London in particular. I certainly think that our property prices have still got a long way to go. I'm used to think that Zimbabwean property was expensive when compared to South Africa. Until a friend of mine went and opened a safe in Tanzania.
Yeah.
And I said to her, what opportunities are there in Tanzania? You know, can we find land to develop? And she sent me a couple of adverts for a couple of pieces of land that were for sale. The price per square meter, all right, for land in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, was sitting at over $1,000 a square meter.
Wow.
And in Zimbabwe, we're not even near the $100 mark a square meter. And that's probably like 20 times what it is in South Africa. And you can't buy it. So, no, I think that our property prices are still going to go up. I think that our property still has a lot of legs. And especially the properties that have been built to the quality that we do, really high quality finishes, I think you're going to see a significant growth in value and pricing.
Yeah, and also looking at the current trends, there has been an upward notice of cluster developments, really. I think that's what we're seeing mostly. And those are for just household occupancy and a little bit of it into commercial property. What are your thoughts around that? Are we geared as the capital city to be having so many cluster homes, given how far back Harare was established?
All right, I think it's definitely needed. But as Thaton Property, we are always innovating. When we were in South Africa, we were top of our game. All right, in terms of black property developers. In Zimbabwe, we certainly have emerged to be top of the food chain, top of the game. So if you look at that 227 Lifestyle Estate, where we're sitting now, we provided so many amenities to enhance the lifestyle in a gated community with 82 apartments. All right. But we have now taken it much further. So in our new development, the Corner Luxury Residence, we've actually created a product that I think you don't even find in Dubai or in Cape Town. It's 130 apartments, but it's a mixed-use development. We've started to offer within these developments now professionally operated gyms, serviced offices by international partners like Regis. We have partners like Plato. Plato is a very well-known South African coffee brand. We have food outlets like Luke Epipolo. We have these dead here like the Fresh Company. We have Camelot Spa. We have Petite Kinderhouse Daycare Center. So in the new modern type of cluster developments that are coming up in Zimbabwe, the trend we are starting, the trend that we have coined the term Urban Plus, is to do, to create a community, but you give that community all of those essential amenities that really enhance their lives. So when you're there, you can work, you can stay healthy, you can exercise, your children are looked after, you can entertain yourself, and you can work and adult.
All within the gated community.
All within that precinct.
Yeah.
I think there's, as we've already seen, I mean, the quarter, we only broke in round on Friday, but we're almost 30% sold out.
Wow.
Before we've even put a pick in the ground. And that is because the market recognizes the quality that we bring. They recognize the sophistication of our products. And yeah, I think we've gone beyond what most of the South African residential developers provide, and have done a bit more.
Yeah, and that sounds really exciting. But, you know, from an investment perspective, because we have an audience of Zimbabweans who are in the diaspora, who want to know, is it really profitable for me to jump on this trend and put my money in?
Yes. Zimbabwe, you know, I would define it almost as a frontier country. You remember the gold rush in America and in all of those places? I mean, our returns here in Zimbabwe, you're talking plus 20%. On most projects, we don't work on 20% though. We work with about 10 to 15% return. And that's why we're so well priced. But having developed and run a big business in South Africa, our company had a balance sheet of R1 billion when I was just 35 years old in South Africa. It is certainly a lot more rewarding. The returns on investment are big. You know, a lot of people say Zimbabwe is not developed. You don't have a Thaton Mall, you don't have a Rosebank Mall, you don't have all of those things. But those are the opportunities that exist in Zimbabwe.
Right. It's an
All of
opportunity
those
to build
things
those.
that we don't have, that's the opportunity. Why would I want to go and create another shopping mall in South Africa when there are so many that are not fully lit, that already die? All right? This is where the demand is. And then the interesting thing is this. If you look at all of those successful shopping malls in South Africa, a lot of the people who are sustaining them are not even South Africans. It's people from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Ghana. It's continental Africa that is propping up all of those things. But we need to save ourselves the flights. We need to save ourselves the hotel accommodation. And we need to provide those products here.
Right.
And that is the big opportunity. So we certainly don't have residential property in Zimbabwe that is as sophisticated as what you can get in South Africa. That's an opportunity right there. We don't have the shopping malls That's an opportunity right there. We don't have the hospitals and the clinics, and that's a significant opportunity right there. All of those things we lack are the opportunity. And when you have the knowledge, just the knowledge, not even the money, just the knowledge, and you come back home, the money will definitely find you. As long as you've got a sustainable vision, a sustainable project, the money will come and find you. It's that simple.
Yeah, and it touched on to what was going to be my next question, which is really centered around the knowledge. And I feel this is one of the biggest challenges that we have. Zimbabweans, both in Zimbabwe and in the diaspora, have little to no knowledge of how to put an investment down in the property space. So if someone were to come to you now and ask for advice on how they can put their money and what sort of development they can look at, what would you say to them?
Oh, there are so many. One of the challenges we have in Zimbabwe, though, is like if you want to buy a home here and you are based in South Africa, for example, you can't get a normal mortgage. Our financial institutions just don't have the liquidity, maybe, to be giving long-term mortgages. So that is where developers like Thaton Property, like ourselves, have come in to fill in that gap. So we are providing people with an opportunity to pay over 7.5 years. All right. If you were lucky enough to get a bank loan in Zimbabwe, you're probably going to be looking at 90% interest. We're the whole 5% below that. All right, on our interest charges. So, just one of the solutions. People wanting to invest in Zimbabwe, come and look at some of our projects, because at least we'll give you terms, all right, and that allow you and give you a little breathing space to pay for your property. Other ways of investing, there's been a couple of real estate investment trusts that have been set up, what we call a rate. There are rates for projects in Vic Falls, there are rates for projects in Harare. There's a number of rates that have been set up, and that allows you to come in even with $1,000, and I think even less. So there are all of those means at the moment for people to come and participate in the local property market.
Now, you're going to be taking part at our property show that's happening in South Africa. What can Thaton Property customers and potential customers look forward to from you as a brand that's going to be present there?
I think the most important thing is an example of, I went to study in South Africa. I was at Natal University, I was in Stellenbosch, I was at UCT Business School. I'm a former South African Business Person of the Year given by Absa Bank, Nelson Mandela University Business School, as well as the Herald newspaper. Collectively, that was in over 10 years ago. I was business person of the setup in South Africa. I worked there. I gained a lot of knowledge in South Africa, and it's now really paying me off, because I came with all that knowledge and expertise, and I'm applying it in my own country. You know, I built and developed the first Radisson hotel on the African continent, and it belongs to someone else now. You know, when you do those things and you are in your country of birth, you know, it's so much more meaningful, so much more rewarding. So what people can expect for us is a living example of a person who was 23 years in the diaspora, has come back home, and is really making big, and you all can do the same. All right? That's the first thing they're going to expect from us. The second thing is to see real living examples of Black excellence. I think the 2267 lifestyle estate If you look at all of these awards, the Man of the Year 2025 in real estate, this is a British award for excellence in property development 2025. All right. You can expect to see projects of a world-class nature that have been done in Zimbabwe by Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe. The one project we're going to introduce you to, the Corner Luxury Residence, is going to blow you away. Because even in Joburg, you don't have a product as good as this. And I challenge anybody who knows of a better mixed-use residential development than what we have with the Corner to come over. If I lose that bet, it's $1,000 in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a very bold statement.
Absolutely. And we did it. There is nothing in Johannesburg right now that is comparable to the level of luxury, the level of convenience and sophistication of the Corner Luxury Residence. And we will be presenting that project to you when we come over to Johannesburg.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to be there in Johannesburg. I hope our viewers will also be spending their time to come and learn about investment in Zimbabwe, particularly those that have a keen interest in property. But thank you for giving us your time. I don't want to take too much of it, and I don't want to give too much away because you're one of the speakers that we have. So if you want to hear more about Mr. Nyaumwe's story, that's a call out for you to come and join us on the 22nd and the 23rd of May 2026 at the Radisson Hotel in Johannesburg. Otherwise, thank you for following on this conversation. Please make sure that you click subscribe, share, comment on all of our social media platforms. Yeah, so today we are out here at the 2267 Lifestyle Center. Of course, it's an establishment that's under the Thaton Property belt. And I'm joined by their marketing executive, Agnes. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm excited to go on this tour. So you tell us more about 2267, what we have lined up. I see there's a lot of construction happening. So maybe we can start off with when the project started and the progress that you've reached so far.
Okay, so let me tell you the exciting part about the progress where we are right now. We are fully sold out. In case there's some people who would want to get on board, but we've got another project coming, but today's about 2267.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on site.
Yeah.
Block A.
Okay. This is the finished one, is it?
Yes. So Block A is complete now, and we have residents that have moved in there. So that's already living space now as we work on the other blocks.
Oh, okay. And this structure here, what is it meant to be?
So this structure here is our clubhouse. So part of the vision behind 2267 Lifestyle Estate is that it should have everything that you need in terms of entertaining for families and also for individuals. So this is a clubhouse. The ground floor has a bar area, and then the top floor has a gym. It has a sauna. So for those who are into wellness, into exercise, those who want to host friends, you can come down to the clubhouse, and you don't have to leave the estate.
Mm-hmm. So what other facilities do you have? I'm seeing a swimming pool is coming along.
Yes. So that's our infinity pool. That's also part of the entertainment area here at 2267. And it also has a kiddie pool for those who will be having families here, so that they can come out here and relax. And there's an open entertainment area. And if you can see the white markings that are there, that's work in progress for the paddle court. So there's going to be a paddle court. So the center of the estate is going to be where all the entertainment and the leisure will be happening. And
So it's accessible to all the residents.
yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be the meeting point.
Oh,
for all the
okay.
residents.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wish I had an apartment here.
Yes. So it also fosters, being in an apartment has to also have a sense of community. So it's a space that people don't feel like they are isolated within their walls. They can come out to the clubhouse and have that social.
Yeah. And so how many blocks do we have here in terms of the housing?
Okay, so we have a total of 10 blocks, and each of them has 10 units in there.
10 blocks by 10 units.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And then the structure inside, are they all the same? Do we have perhaps 2-bedroomed, 1-bedroom apartments, studio apartments? What is the inside like?
So the structure for each block, there will be 2-bed apartments there. There are also 2-bed apartments, and then there are 1-bed apartments. So for each block, there are different sizes within that block. Yeah.
Right now it's April 2026. I see there's a lot of construction happening around us. When are you expecting to complete the whole lifestyle center?
So our completion date, our target is 31 May 2026. As you can see, a lot of the heavy lifting has already been done. For the remaining blocks on this other side of the estate, it's mostly just, making them pretty in layman's terms, and just working on the internal fittings. But in terms of the real heavy lifting and the structure, they're already up. Yeah.
What would you like to say to a Zimbabwean, or maybe even just not even a Zimbabwean, who is anywhere across the world, who is quite skeptical of what's happening on the ground? I mean, you're seeing the development. We came at its inception stage, and here we are counting down to May 31st. What would you say to them?
So for the Zimbabweans out there, in Zimbabwe and outside, I would like to say, here at 2267 and Lifestyle Estate and other developments that we're doing as Thaton Property, we have questions to all the worries that people are constantly dealing with in their residential spaces. For example, here we will be treating all the water on site here and recycling it, and bringing it back into the estates to take care of the greenery, the lawns and the flowers. So that addresses issues of sustainability. In addition to that, all these units will be running off the grid. They're currently on solar. So ZESA will only be the backup. But currently, the residency moved in, we have been running on solar. And we have appliances. We sell the apartments with appliances, washing machine, dryer, gas stove, appliances that can support the ecosystem of the energy that's being supplied here. So if you want a hassle-free stay, don't worry about coming back home and you start thinking about the power cuts and the water issues. At Thaton Property, here at 2267 Lifestyle Estate and the other developments that we're launching, this has all been addressed.
So I like the fact that you're moving with the global trends and incorporating the green energy aspect. What more can we expect from you besides the 227 Lifestyle Center?
So you can expect from us bigger and bolder things.
Right.
We're currently on course to groundbreak the Cornard Luxury Residence in Avondale. That's going to be a 7-rise apartment building. Dubai, Cape Town vibe coming to Harare, addressing issues of sustainability as well. If I could just mention stormwater harvesting and bringing it back into the system. Also 100% off-grid. It's going to have solar panels on the roof, powering all the apartments. It will have a total of 133 apartments. Excited for this one. This one will have a studio apartment. So entry-level buyers, young individuals, professionals, a studio, a 1-bed, a 2-bed, and a 3-bed penthouse. The exciting thing about this one is it's a step up, because as you know, as you grow and do bigger and better things. So this one has retail space, so it will have a gym on site, it will have Plato Coffee, it will have a daycare. So the families are catered for. It will have dining facilities within the building, and it will also have Regus office space for those who want to work and don't want to worry about connectivity. So it's going to be a Wi-Fi community. Everyone is connected all the time. Everyone is off the grid and everyone has power. and you always have running water. So that's really exciting. So all those people were like, Zim, we're not sure. At the Corner Luxury, you know exactly what to expect. Everything is going to be running on course.
You know what, Agnes? I'm already sold on that one. So count me in on the Cornets. But thank you so much for giving us your time and for allowing us to take a tour around this. Counting down to May 31st. But speaking of counting down, you can join us at the Property Expo on the 22nd and 23rd of May at the Radisson Hotel in Johannesburg. And you can hear Thaton Property talk more about the projects that they have running here at home.